Over the past few weeks, I took care of emails, I planned my days, wrote some scripts, edited some pictures and videos, spent hours on YouTube, but I did it using the iPad only. The iPad has always been seen as a versatile piece of hardware. It works wonders as a multimedia and productivity tool and has conquered the hearts of many digital artists over the years. But can it be more than that? I'm João with Paperlike and I've been putting my iPad Air and its M1 chip to test. My goal? Well, understand if an iPad can truly replace a MacBook. And the short answer is yes. So thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next No, not yet. Stay with me here, because this conclusion actually comes in layers. So let's peel this onion together. This is just a little crook. Okay, now we can move on. So the first thing you'll notice when using your iPad as a laptop replacement is how easy you can set it up on a desk. You just connect the second monitor with a USB-C cable and it instantly recognizes it. In literally 2 or 3 touches, you can switch from mirror to expanded view. This is all really great, but please note that external monitor support is only available on iPads that have an M1 or M2 chip. After setting it up, Stage Manager is really what makes the experience work. For those who aren't caught up, Stage Manager is a new way of multitasking on iPadOS. It essentially allows you to have a similar window management experience you'd have on a Mac or on a Windows computer. You can have floating windows on both the external display and the iPad with up to 4 apps on each screen, which is pretty great. Multiple apps can be working in the background, and you can build different sets of apps for different purposes. When I'm working, I usually have my Notion, Spotify, Slack, and my email client on screen together, so I can easily switch from that set to another set of apps, for example, when I'm video editing. And switching between these is incredibly easy. The 3-point menu on each window provides options to enter full screen, add another window, minimize, and move the window between the external display and the iPad itself. It gives you just an extra tad of flexibility to actually manage your sets between one screen and the other, which is great. On the other hand, Stage Manager is not perfect yet. The predefined window sizes take some time getting used to and limit you in how you can actually set up your screens. Also, you can't freely choose where to place your windows. iPadOS has limited and predefined spots where you can actually put your windows, which is okay, I guess, but it's not perfect. The good news is that this will be corrected in iPadOS 17, so I'm pretty excited to put my hands on it. Other than that, some apps like YouTube, for example, have some tough time resizing. As you can see here, sometimes after resizing, the videos aren't centered. Again, not a big issue, but it kind of confuses my brain. Okay, to be bluntly honest, I really struggled with Stage Manager at first. The lack of flexibility in terms of window resizing kind of bothered me a lot, but after using it for a couple of weeks, these limitations actually started bothering me less and less, and today I'm pretty okay with it. Now, to really enhance your iPad experience, there are some must-have accessories that you need to purchase. Firstly, a hub, obviously, for additional ports and connectivity options. This essentially allows me to connect my external monitor, my charger, and an SSD drive like I would do on a MacBook, for example. It's good to note that the SSD is instantly recognized, so that's pretty neat. I also use an external keyboard and a mouse, which are pretty essential to my workflow. And finally, you need an iPad stand or a folio case. I personally use Paperlike's folio case. It can be positioned standing or laying at a perfect angle for a more classical tablet usage with my Apple Pencil. It's pretty versatile, and if I need to go anywhere, I just close the folio case, disconnect my hub, and I'm ready to go. I'll leave a link in the description down below. I can already read in the comments that there are a lot more accessories that you can add to this list, and yeah, it's true, Apple's Magic Keyboard or trackpad are really great and really enhance the experience using the iPad as a laptop replacement, but in my case, I really wanted to stick to what I already use on a daily basis with my MacBook to keep my experience as close as possible to what my normal workflow is. Another great thing about using the iPad as your only work device is just its portability. Even compared to a MacBook Air, for example, the iPad is so lightweight and easy to carry around, making it perfect for the remote-friendly world we live in. But the battery life, while it's okay, it's far from amazing. Using it for note-taking with Notion and YouTube running as well, it took it less than 90 minutes to get the battery from 100% to 60%, which is okay, but it's really nothing compared to M1 or M2 MacBooks that seem to run on love and sunshine. But hey, what is? Now, what really made my transition very easy was the fact that pretty much any app I use on a daily basis is available on the iPad. If you work on Notion, use Slack for messaging, Spotify, but also creative pro apps just like DaVinci Resolve, Lightroom, Photoshop, Procreate, and now the newly released Final Cut Pro. Everything is kind of being set up by Apple so that the transition is made as easy and convenient as possible. And I have to say the biggest fear I had was about video editing, and I started using the iPad specifically for this video. I have to say that my experience has been pretty good so far. The M1 chip is powerful enough to run DaVinci Resolve without any issues. And while I think Final Cut Pro is not a perfect app yet, very far from it, I have to admit that its iPad specifically built features make video editing on the iPad a very unique experience. And by the way, let me know if you want to see a video on Final Cut Pro on iPad. I really think that Apple is on the right track to actually building something very special with it. All these great things being said, the iPad comes with some limitations that are really worth mentioning. There aren't big issues, but there is a sum of little things that might make you stick to your laptop. Starting with the mouse scroll. It's just not smooth. I mean, it's totally understandable knowing that the iPad is built for swiping to be used with your fingers, but still, it's kind of annoying. I know. Using a trackpad actually solved this issue, right? But as it's not part of my normal workflow, I didn't use one for this video. I said it already, but I thought I needed to say it again. Additionally, the iPad screen needs to be on for you to be able to work on an external monitor, and for some reason the control center only appears on the iPad itself, even when you click on it on the external monitor. So why? And finally, there are some crashes from time to time. Nothing too serious, all apps crash at once, the screen turns off, and that's about it. Another literal thing is the fact that iPadOS doesn't allow you to use an external camera for your video calls, which is something I usually do because I like my video calls to look clean. Apparently, this will be corrected with iPadOS 17, so I'm pretty excited about that as well. I know not everybody is a video editor up here, but in my case, I felt that video editing is still not up to par with the experience you'd have on a MacBook. Don't get me wrong here, it's not a hardware issue at all. Like the M1 chip is great and it is powerful enough to deal with DaVinci Resolve and Final Cut Pro. The issue has more to do with the software itself. One example is that Final Cut Pro doesn't support external storage devices, which means that if you want to edit a video like this, you better have a lot of storage on your iPad. Another thing is that as of now, it doesn't support like third-party effects or LUTs. So if you're thinking of selling your iPad today and start using your iPad for video editing, you might need some time to actually adapt your usual workflow. So can your iPad truly replace your MacBook? Yes. You can definitely get away with a setup like this one with the right accessories, but it really depends on your specific needs and use cases. For everyday tasks, the iPad can provide a fantastic laptop-like experience. And to be honest, being able to switch from a laptop use to writing with my Apple Pencil on the same device is something that is just incredibly convenient. On the other hand, it's important to consider that certain tasks, such as video editing, or dealing with other pro apps is better suited on the MacBook. And even though the iPad already feels great to use, we're still a couple updates away from iPadOS providing a seamless laptop-like experience. On that note, I'm really eager for iPadOS 17. It has just been announced and it reportedly corrects many of the issues I mentioned in this video, namely with Stage Manager's window management and the option to use an external camera for my professional calls. And that wraps up this video. I really hope this helps you make an informed decision. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you like this video, don't forget to hit the thing. Now, if you want to use your iPad specifically for note-taking but don't know where to start, you should definitely check out our latest video about the best note-taking apps on the App Store. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.